Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to a surprise FNaF news video. Of course, right as I was about to start recording a regular FNaF news video for this weekend, Stillwell Studios decided to, out of nowhere, drop the Steam page for Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, where we have gotten a whole bunch of brand new gameplay teasers and screenshots for the upcoming game. So we got that and a few other details about Secret of the Mimic to talk about in today's FNaF news video. If you missed it, it's playing on screen, but the gameplay trailer for the title has been released. We've already done a reaction and analysis of that trailer, so I'll leave that link down below. And we've also gotten brand new descriptions for the game, brand new details on whether or not the VR mode has been canceled. That we've also covered in another video on the game, so I'll also leave that video link down below in case you missed it. But first up, for today's video, we've gotten this very short extended gameplay clip of Secret of the Mimic. You may recognize this scene. We saw this in the gameplay trailer, though at the beginning, there's a little bit of extra footage where we can see the player yank the generator to turn it on and open this door to what appears to be some sort of security office. Right, we've got some monitor displays up in the top right of the room. We also have that control panel, or that station that we plug what we're predicting to be an early prototype of the Phaz wrench into, and that's where we get greeted to Helper, the brand new iteration of Helpy for the game. But going back to the beginning of the clip, a lot of FNaF fans noticed what appeared to be blood on the wall. In one of those past videos I mentioned, we talked about how the game is rated T for teens because of violence, not fantasy violence like the other FNaF games. And fans have also spotted dead bodies stuffed inside of the mascot suits in the gameplay trailer. So the dead bodies mixed with blood on the wall, it does seem like that this game is going to be a lot darker than what we're used to with the more recent FNaF entries. So of course, this is a very minor detail of the game in a very short gameplay footage clip here, but nonetheless, it's gotten a lot of FNaF fans excited, though something that is troubling a lot of FNaF fans is recent news regarding Stillwell. Because you may have seen on Twitter recently that former executive producer at Stillwell, Ray McCaffrey, has retired from the company, saying, "Hey folks, a few weeks ago, Stillwell and I parted ways. It's been my privilege to be a part of such a talented and outstanding team. I will forever cherish the memories and relationships I made there and wish them all the best. I would also like to express my appreciation to you all for being such a warm, welcoming community. Your excitement and passion have been an inspiration these past few years. From the bottom of my heart, thank you." Now, as I mentioned, Ray was an executive producer on Security Breach, Ruin, Help Wanted 2, and seemingly Secret of the Mimic as well. You also might recognize him because he did an interview alongside Jason Toplowski with Dawko leading up to the release of Security Breach. And the timing of him parting ways with Stillwell has gotten a few FNaF fans concerned because it's so close to the release of the game. However, I do want to come on here and reassure fans that it's possible Ray just finished his work with the game and therefore was able to leave the company a bit earlier than the release of Mimic. And I want to clarify that Ray's not the only executive producer at Stillwell, but because Ray's been such a public figure in the community, a very public face for people to associate with Stillwell, of course this announcement is hitting pretty hard with some FNaF fans. But whatever Ray has going on in the future, I want to wish him the best of luck. He will absolutely be missed here in the FNaF community. But with all those brand new details out of the way, let's finally get to the Steam page for Secret of the Mimic. It's interesting that the Steam page took a bit longer to launch than the PlayStation Store page, which went up pretty much right after the gameplay trailer. And thanks to that PlayStation page, we were able to find out that the game will cost $40, and it will also be released at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on June 13th. And while we're here talking about the release date, to reiterate in case anyone missed it, the game comes out on June 13th, once again 1 p.m. Eastern Time. For PlayStation 5, Steam, as we're going to take a look at in a quick second, as well as the Epic Games Store, which so far does not have a page available. But this right here is the Steam page for Secret of the Mimic. As you can see, we've got a very brief description here, which actually has a much larger description right down here. Enter the abandoned workshop of Murray's Costume Manor and unravel the mystery left behind by the reclusive inventor, Edwin Murray. In FNaF's Secret of the Mimic, you'll step into a world where every dark corner holds a secret and every flicker of light hints at an ever-present threat. The Mimic, a prototype endoskeleton, can adapt to any costume and become any character, including what you fear most. Armed with only your wits, a few gadgets, and a heavily redacted corporate briefing, you'll attempt to retrieve Fazbear's prize prototype technology, while grappling with cryptic clues and a relentless shadow determined to dispatch all unwanted company. Prepare for heart-pounding thrills as you explore the labyrinth of the deserted Costume Manor, discovering remnants of Edwin's unfinished work and eluding the monster he's created. Experience FNaF Security Breach, experience FNaF Secret of the Mimic, and survive the mystery and madness. Secret of the Mimic will be available available on June 13th. Disclaimer, Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for whatever you awake in the dark. As you can see here, we got all the languages. It looks like so far English is the only language that has full audio. There you got interface and subtitles for French, Italian, German, Spanish from Spain, Portuguese, Brazil, and Spanish Latin America. We're not sure if it's Steam Deck compatible just yet. Of course, it's in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, and here are some minimum system requirements. Only 8 gigs? That's pretty surprising. Good job, Steelwool. But now, of course, we got some brand new screenshots. First up, it looks like we got some sort of like parts and service backstage area where we have parts of a suit. This one looks really, really old, and I'm really digging the look of it, honestly. You got a party hat, you got an arm. Like, this actually looks like the foam of an early, like, prototype of a mascot suit. That's so, so cool. It's also really giving me, like, rat designs from Five Nights at Candy's, if that makes sense. Like, this bears a striking resemblance to the rat from FNaF. But either way, it seems that this is just one of the rooms that we're going to be able to explore in the costume manner. It's going to be really awesome if we get to see like how they manufacture and how they make these various costumes. Because again, this looks like maybe some starting foam for the outline of a suit. Once again, some foam of a body down here, and then this is what it looks like once it's all finished. Like, this is so cool. I really, really dig this. Next up, we got a brand new look at the elephant animatronic. I'm not sure if we know his name just yet, though. He's going to be one of the suits that the Mimic possesses, seemingly. And this looks like, if I'm reading my indie horror games correctly, maybe the start of a chase sequence. Looks like we got some big, long hallway we just walked down, then we try to open this door right here. Very similar sequence that we see in the gameplay trailer of the character turning a lever to open up a locked gate. Yeah, also main hallway. This is definitely the start of a chase sequence. So I'm sure we open up this gate, this guy pops out from behind this corner here, and then we gotta run away. Also in the screenshot, we got a few other characters that we've seen in the gameplay trailer, like this bee character on the swing. They had a poster at PAX West once again. Just another brand new character in Secret of the Mimic. They seem a bit small, so I'm not sure if they're going to get possessed by the Mimic, if the Mimic is going to take hold of their costume. This other suit here, I still don't really know what it is. At first, I thought it was like a walrus, but looking at it now, it's green. Walruses really aren't green, but then again, bunnies are not usually purple. And there is also one other costume just barely out of frame here in the screenshot. There's this guy as well. I can't really tell if that's a character. It seems like that might just be like some mural, some art on the wall. Yeah, I'm predicting it now. This is a big chase sequence with the elephant guy. Up next, we've got a very terrifying encounter with Maestro Music Man. I believe that is the working fan name for him. I don't think it's official, though I've seen a lot of people call this version of Music Man Maestro Music Man, Maestro Man, whatever you want to call him. I really dig the name, so I'm gonna call him that for now. This guy looks absolutely terrifying. We've seen in the gameplay trailer, he like is on the ceiling, he's on the roof outside, and then he breaks the ceiling and pounces on us. It's a really terrifying sequence. And this screenshot gives us a bit more context with what we're looking at here. It looks like we've got a staircase that we're climbing up to go to the roof. And I guess with the heavy weight of Maestro Man, the ceiling collapses and now he's chasing us down this flight of stairs. That sounds like a really, really cool sequence. I cannot wait for that. I still just love the design of this guy. You can really tell which FNaF characters are Steelwool's favorite to use. With how many versions of Helpy we've gotten Glamrock Helpy, we've gotten Helper, we've gotten Helpy with an I in Ruin, and it looks like Music Man is also another one of their favorites. Of course, you had the Wind-Up Music Man in Security Breach, you had DJ Music Man, Ruined DJ Music Man, now we got Maestro Music Man, which I'm not complaining about. I think Music Man is a really underrated FNaF character. He's super terrifying. I mean, just ask 8-Bit Ryan. His design looks sick. What we've seen so far of his gameplay looks sick as well. I cannot wait to see what he does in his encounter with us. It's going to be super terrifying. This screenshot here is of Jackie peeking out of a vent in one of the chase sequences with her. This is, once again, something we saw in the gameplay trailer. This is also, once again, something that we saw in the PAX demo for Secret of the Mimic, which, by the way, while I'm talking about it, I'm going to go into a bit more detail in a future FNaF news video. But Steelwool has confirmed that they will not be at PAX West this year for 2025, which is really unfortunate. It does make sense when you think about it. Secret of the Mimic releases like 2 months before then, so they wouldn't really have anything to advertise there, because at the end of the day, PAX West is an advertisement. But they did say that future years they'll make an appearance, so this is not them stopping completely showing up at PAX West. It's just they're not going to be there this year. But there is some very exciting news for PAX East this year. Stay tuned for a future FNaF news video coming very soon about that. But anyways, we're in a chase sequence here. We go up into like the rafters, the catwalks of the factory. Jackie chases after us. We've talked about it plenty. Moving on, we've gotten Once again, another room we've already seen in the gameplay trailer, and also a room we just talked about in this video. So I'm not going to stick on it too much longer. We do see the MCM logo for the Murray Costume Manor on the TV screen now. We can also see right over here it says 12, which I really do think there is going to be a 12 to 6 a.m. sequence in this game, or at least a survive, you know, a certain amount of time sequence in the game. That was something that Steel threw together in some sections of Security Breach. I do think they're going to try that again in Secret of the Mimic here, because the setup is just too perfect, right? You've got some controls here, you got some cameras here, you got a clock here, right? A radio, like an intercom here that maybe we can instruct characters or characters can instruct us with. But now moving on to the final screenshot here, we've got some brand new characters, and what I've seen some people speculate to be early versions of the mediocre melodies. Because if you're paying attention, we've got a frog, we've got a hippo, and also an alligator. The frog here has a very, very striking resemblance to Happy Frog, with the yellow circle atop their head, the green and yellow coloring. So I've seen some fans speculate that this is an early prototype, early predecessor to Happy Frog. We've also got a hippo. Do I need to explain much more? Mr. Hippo. It seems that these might be the early mascot costumes for the Mediocre Melodies, and then later on in the FNaF timeline, those characters finally got animatronic costumes, and that is what we see in FNaF 6 with the Mediocre Melodies. Now, we also have an alligator. Now, Monty Gator is the only gator character we have in FNaF, and when we see him in Security Breach, he's part of the glam rock band, not the Mediocre Melodies. However, I suppose it's not impossible that Monty started off as a Mediocre Melody, and then, I guess, evolved into a glam rock. Number one, an alligator fits like right alongside a frog, a hippo, an elephant, a bear, and then also Monty was the fill-in for Bonnie in Security Breach. So maybe something happened with Bonnie, they're like, damn, we really gotta find someone to replace him. Oh, let's just take one of those random mediocre melody characters. You got a few sheep characters over here as well. I don't think we know of any sheep characters. Usually they're just like Easter eggs for Steel Wool. But those are all of the brand new screenshots for Secret of the Mimic. You may notice as well, before I forget, all of these screenshots are in flat mode, which once again, I think kind of confirms that VR mode has been at the very least delayed. We go into it in more detail once again in one of those previous Secret of the Mimic news videos. Well, like, right, you got the circle here, which is something that we see all the time in Steel Wool's flat modes. With all these screenshots being in PC flat mode, I really do think VR mode has been delayed. I don't think it's been scrapped, but I do think it's been delayed, which if that is the case, I really hope Steel Wool says something. Steel Wool, that'd be nice. Official confirmation on what's going on with that mode. But anyways, I've been rambling and yapping on for long enough. I'd love to know what are your thoughts on the brand new screenshots for the game. I'll leave the Steam page linked down below in case you want to go save it to your wish list. And I'll also leave linked down below the PlayStation Store page for the game where you can go pre-order it right now. That's gonna do it. Stay tuned for brand new FNaF news video coming out very, very soon. And I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye.